They thought the night was already lost. The squad was pinned down, the canyon swallowed in fire, and every exit was sealed by the enemy above. Their final radio call was only 7 words. If anyone hears this, tell them, we fought. Silence followed. In the command tent, no one spoke. Maps were already marked with red ink, routes crossed out, lives already counted as gone. Drones couldn't see inside. Choppers couldn't make it through. Pilots shook their heads, calling it suicide. Everyone accepted it was over. Everyone except one. She didn't wait for orders. She didn't ask permission. She walked to her aircraft like someone stepping into a storm. And when her jet roared awake, the entire hangar went silent. Because when she flew, impossible wasn't impossible anymore. You're watching the vault, where we uncover legends the world almost forgot. And if this story finds you, it's for a reason. So lean closer, wherever you are, because what you're about to hear isn't just about war. It's about one pilot, one machine. In the moment she changed everything, the last message from the trapped unit still echoed in the ops room. No way out. MO low. Do not attempt rescue. The words hit harder than any bullet. The officers knew the terrain, jagged cliffs, blind radar zones, heat seekers hidden on every ridge. They called it the Scar, a place where aircraft went in but never came back. And that was when Captain Mara Vale stepped forward. She had been silent the whole time, arms folded, eyes fixed on the glowing maps. Her call sign was Raven, and the crews knew her reputation.com, precise, fearless when it mattered most. Colonel Brandt looked at her. Don't even think about it. You'd have to fly under 200 feet, blind, through a kill box. Mara didn't blink. Then I'll fly under 200 feet. You won't come back. Better me than them. The room froze. No one spoke, because deep down, everyone knew, if anyone could thread the canyon alive, it was her. Minutes later, in the hangar, ground crews rushed like ants around her jet, an old F-16, patched together, scarred from years of combat. Not the newest, not the fastest, but tough. Built for someone exactly like her. A crew chief jogged up, holding a patch. Black cloth, silver thread. A raven with wings spread wide. For luck, he muttered. She tucked it into her sleeve, gave the faintest nod, then climbed the ladder. Inside the cockpit, everything went quiet. Her hands moved like they had done it 1,000 times. Throttle flaps, weapons, systems, each switch was muscle memory, each breath steady. Outside, the sunset burned red across the horizon. It felt less like a takeoff and more like a warning. Raven 1 cleared 4 wheels up, Godspeed. Engines screamed, tires roared, and then she was gone. Into the air, into the fire, into the impossible. The Scar came fast. A black cut of earth, stretching for miles, cliffs twisting into shapes that ate radar and killed sound. Most pilots called it death. Mara called it a challenge. She dropped altitude, lower, lower still, until the alarms blared. Altitude, 150 feet, any lower, and she'd scraped the trees, exactly where she wanted to be. Her headset cracked with faint static. Echo team, pinned, can't move. The voices were broken, desperate, fading. She pressed the mic. Hold, position, Raven inbound. And then the first missiles came. 2 bright tails streaking from the ridge. Her flares shot like fireflies. One missile swallowed. The other kept coming. She banked hard, so low, the jet's wingtips sliced the treetops. Sparks flying as branches snapped. The missile screamed past and detonated against the rock wall. The blast shook the jet, but she held steady. She climbed just enough to see the ridge. Dozens of fighters, RPGs, aimed downward, waiting for the kill. They never saw her coming. With one pull of the trigger, her cannon thundered. The night exploded with fire. Sandbags ripped open. Bunkers collapsed. Bodies scattered. The mountain itself seemed to shatter. North Ridge clear, she said coldly into the radio. Echo team cheered, voices shaking. But there was no time to celebrate. 2 technical trucks tore down a trail, heavy guns mounted in the back. Mara adjusted flaps, dove again, and fired. The first truck became a fireball. The second swerved straight into a boulder. Silence followed, but the canyon was far from finished. New radar warnings lit up her screen. Reinforcements. Dozens. More. Closing in from the east. She glanced at her fuel gauge, already low. Systems flashing red, her jet rattling. She ignored it all. Command, I'll hold them off. Get Echo team out. She nosed down into the canyon once more. Below radar, below reason. The jet shook. Alarms screamed, metal groaned, but her hands never wavered. RPGs fired from above. She didn't dodge. Upward, she dove lower, forcing the missiles to overshoot. One exploded, so close, it rocked her cockpit sideways. Her jaw clenched, but she didn't flinch. She saw them enemy fighters scrambling along the cliffs, trying to cut off the extraction. She fired again. The cannon barked. The ridge cracked apart. Dust swallowed everything. When the smoke cleared, only silence remained. Echo team's voice cut through the static. We see you, Raven. You saved us. But the fight wasn't done. A heat seeker locked onto her, Flares gone. Time gone. She had one option. Fly straight at it. At the last second, she dropped lower than anyone thought possible, skimming so close to the canyon floor that dust and stones blasted into the air. The missile lost lock, spiraled away, and vanished into the cliffs. Her jet coughed, hydraulics failing, fuel almost empty. She should have turned back, but she stayed, circling above the extraction zone, daring anything left in those hills, to take a shot, because until her people were safe, she wasn't leaving. The helicopters finally arrived, blades chopping, dust clouds rising. Echo team sprinted, diving inside. Gunfire rained down from the last enemy holdouts. Mara dove again, unleashing her final burst. The ridge vanished in thunder. And then, silence. Raven, we are secure. Repeat, we are secure. Her breath finally eased. She guided the choppers out, fly an escort even as her own jet screamed warnings in every system. By the time she limped back to base, one engine dead, landing gear half broken, her plane touched down like a wounded bird. Sparks flew, metal groaned, but she held it straight. She always did. When the canopy opened, she climbed out, helmet in hand. No words, just calm, steady eyes. The crews watched in silence. Because they knew what she had done was impossible, the reports tried to bury it. Too reckless, too dangerous. Against every order, but the footage from a soldier's helmet cam leaked, her jet diving between cliffs, cannon blazing, flying, where no one else dared. The internet called her the ghost below radar. Cadets started whispering about the maneuver as if it were myth. And Raven became more than a name. She became a lesson. Sometimes, when the world says it can't be done, you don't wait, you dive. And that night, in the canyon they called the Scar, one woman became the storm.